Hello and welcome to the First Pick right here on HCTV. I'm Ben Simpson, alongside me Mike Cerrone. Episode number 6. We only got a couple episodes left here, Mike, for HCTV, possibly more in the works. We'll obviously be letting the fans know about that as the fall approaches. But Mike, before we get going, let's go ahead and throw out all the social media networks, how you reach us, how you talk to us on Facebook and others.
Go check out Facebook, facebook.com/thefirstpickss. Go on Twitter, @Cerrone16 for me, @FirstPickBlog for Ben. I'm trying to get Ben to change that because, he needs to be more personal with the Twitter. But anyways.
Yeah, Mike wants me to kind of change it to maybe like B Simps or do something with my name.
Or the Simpson.
But then again, I told you, I'm not even a big Twitter guy. I don't think anyone really cares about what I have to say. Plus, I got to try to be funny. If I'm on Twitter, Mike, I can't just be like, I just ate some really good cereal. I got to be like, I got to say.
Is that what people say on Twitter?
Yeah, that's all I see on Twitter. So you got to just say the good joke. So for me, I just don't see me being able to manage a good Twitter. I like looking at other people's Twitters. So.
Well, if we get big enough to the point where people start noticing us and, trying to interact with us,
then I'll tell them what I mean.
Then Ben should get on there because First Pick Blog, this, whatever. Anyways, again, get on like all these social media outlets just to get in contact with us to see if Ben should change his Twitter handle. But again, the First Pick, SS/the First Pick SS on Facebook, and then go on Twitter @Cerrone16 for me, @FirstPickBlog for Ben. If you want to contact us through email, firstpickblog@gmail.com or even mcerrone830@gmail.com, and also go on YouTube /Mike Cerrone or /The First Pick Show.
Also, check us out on the radio, 5 to 7 p.m. on Sunday afternoons, WGMUradio.com. Mike and I do a 2-hour show there. It's a lot of fun. Talk about a lot of different stuff that we maybe don't have the time to talk about here on the show. So definitely check us out on Sundays, 5 to 7, WGMUradio.com. We're working with putting those shows on demand live. The last week's episode got put on demand live. So, again, a lot of good stuff happening, the new logos, everything. We're moving on up in the world, Mike.
Yeah.
But let's get into the show today, starting off with headlines as we do every single week. Big news actually breaking today, and it was kind of a gift, Mike, again, when we were writing up the format for the show, just in the fact that, again, big news here locally, especially, obviously there's been some big trades going on in the Major League Baseball, but for here locally with the Nationals acquired Asdrubal Cabrera from Cleveland. They traded away Zach Walters, the young talent there, but that kind of, obviously, in Cleveland was a short stop for was Cabrera. Now will probably be second baseman here for the Nationals, especially with Zimmerman out. But, Mike, definitely intriguing news. I wasn't entirely sure the Nats were going to make a move at the deadline. They've been playing pretty good ball. I didn't really think. But now you have Danny Espinosa possibly moved out of that position. You've got Asdrubal Cabrera coming in. Thoughts?
Well, I brought the Danny Espinosa bobblehead because I'm trying to give him more airtime because obviously he's not going to get any more airtime because he got replaced. He got replaced by Cabrera.
Basically, yeah.
So looking at it, Asdrubal Cabrera, it's so hard to say that name like a million times. But anyways, Cabrera is, a really good infielder to the point where you got to look at it's a downgrade a tiny bit from Espinosa's, handling skills and so on and so forth. But when you're looking at his bat has diminished a little bit because he was an all-star in 2011 and 2012, and he's digressed a little bit here as of late, but he's still a good bat. And when you're also looking at the sole fact that, Rizzo is saying that they want to win now. So when they want to win now, it's a little bit of a change-up from 2012 when they sat Strasburg down and basically ended the season because Strasburg was a huge part in that season. He was going nuts. I think he was like, 9-3 or something like that, or some crazy, over the top, ace of a pitcher in that year, which they sat him down with the pitch count and everything, which is a whole other story. But now, they're not expecting a lot out of Zimmerman, but they still want to contend, and that's why they got this move from Cleveland. And the Zach Walters situation, he's a really good prospect, but, they want to win now. You got to go with Cabrera.
To me, what this message that they're sending to Ryan Zimmerman is your days in the infield may be numbered. I mean, again, Cabrera, we'll see if this is a guy who's going to be sticking around for many years, or, like you said, it's just a move that we're going to win now attitude right now. We pull this guy in for this run. Will he be back for 2 seasons from now? Who knows? But this tells me that Anthony Rendon has solidified his position at third base now. You have Asdrubal Cabrera at second, Desmond at short, and then you have obviously LaRoche there at first. So Ryan Zimmerman, where does he fit back in when he returns from injury? We'll kind of see. But again, to me, Mike, I like the move. I like you add the bat. Like you said, it's an upgrade from Danny Espinosa. Glove-wise, it's about the same, but the bat is what I'm looking at. And the fact that Danny Espinosa, this guy right here, you notice they didn't do the bobblehead with a baseball bat because he can barely swing that thing. He's got the glove. He's got the arm.
Before we get off that topic, you got to look at the sole fact of, the player option, the team option, I should say, for Adam LaRoche and for Denard Span. Denard Span, I think they're going to sign him again for next year. But Adam LaRoche, now you're looking at Ryan Zimmerman possibly playing first. They got Asdrubal Cabrera, but the same fact that he's kind of alone right now. They don't know if they're going to sign him to a long-term deal after this season. But if Ryan Zimmerman comes in and plays first base, they could sign Cabrera and then solidify that infield and have LaRoche, hit the wagon, get out of here.
For me, the only other one that I wanted to mention here, the other trade, was obviously the big A's trade and the big Tigers trade. Tigers got David Price today. They sent away Austin Jackson, sent away Drew Smyly, and then obviously the A's getting John Lester. So that kind of, for me, it's, again, being a Tigers fan, you notice that Detroit and Oakland end up playing each other in the playoffs almost every single year. So for me, you see these two teams loading up for the playoffs. This move was made for playing the A's. And just like Oakland's move was made for playing the Tigers. And when Oakland made that trade for Samardzija and for Hamill, they even said that this trade is for Detroit. So again, for Detroit to be able to get a really good lefty arm there in David Price, you lose the lefty arm in Drew Smyly, but Drew Smyly's nothing like David Price.
Yeah.
David Price, power pitcher there from the left with the left arm. And then, you lose Austin Jackson, who actually I was kind of sad to see go. Austin Jackson had been there for a little while. He was a leadoff guy, a lot of speed there at the top, good center fielder. Not quite sure what the Tigers are going to do at center field, but Mike, big surprising news. Again, I got that text today.
You also lost Yoenis Cespedes.
Yoenis Cespedes leaves Oakland, obviously going to the Red Sox. So that's a little interesting move there,
guy,
too.
Man.
Yeah, that's my dude. Yoenis Cespedes, he won me the home run derby 2 years in a row.
You guys hang out every Saturday.
We do, every Saturday. But again, a lot of moves going on in the Major League Baseball, but we're not going to get to all of them. We got to move on. Byron Scott, new Lakers head coach, says it is still Laker Town in L.A. Mike, is this still Laker Town, or has the Clippers kind of taken over?
Let's be honest here, okay? The Lakers, they're not so great right now. The Clippers, they're on the up and up. They got their whole entire Donald Sterling thing and everything with all that controversy and whatnot. You don't know if Doc Rivers may, just stay as a coach, may not stay the coach. All this controversy is going nuts right now. But you're also thinking about the sole fact of, the Lakers have all these banners and everything in the rafters. But then you see the Clippers with zero. So is it still Laker Town? Is it not? I still think it's Laker Town because you still see Kobe jerseys out there getting bought left and right. You don't see Chris Paul and Blake Griffin jerseys left and right out there with, say, in China or just overseas anywhere, that are buying NBA jerseys. You see Kobe jerseys. You don't see any Clipper jerseys. So I still think it's Laker Town, but by a very small margin.
Until Kobe Bryant retires, it will be Laker Town. But as soon as Kobe Bryant hangs up the jersey,
that's a good point.
The transition to Clipper era, it will be complete for me. That's my opinion. Obviously, the days of Kobe and Shaq ruling things, going all the way back to Magic Johnson, all those days, they're over as soon as Kobe hangs up the basketball shoes. Because, again, with the young talent the Lakers have, with the way that they've been playing over the past couple of years, now that Gasol's gone too for LA, this is a team that's in rebuild mode. They're in panic mode, Mike. They're trying to, trying to get back to where they used to be. But they don't have the artillery to do so. So for me, as soon as Kobe retires, this is the Clippers town. Because again, you just look at that roster, you look at guys like Blake Griffin, you look at guys like Chris Paul, marketability.
Within 3 years.
Yep. Speaking as jerseys, with Kobe hanging up the jersey, LeBron James has returned to number 23 in his return to Cleveland. Interesting move by LeBron. I'm not entirely surprised. I think it kind of solidifies the return back home to Cleveland. That's my thoughts. Mike, I don't even know what to say about this. Are we surprised by the move, or do we like the move? What are your thoughts?
I saw a meme on the internet the other day that said, it was LeBron and MJ having a conversation or something like that. It's just two pictures from like a long time ago, and it said MJ says, it's okay. I'll still be the best 23. Mm-hmm. It was kind of funny to me. I think that's what he said.
Yeah. That's a meme, so he didn't actually say anything. So it's okay.
Yeah, whatever. But he's probably thinking about it.
Yeah.
But 23, I think it's the right move because you're going back to Cleveland. Overall, you're going to be back with your hometown, back with your fans. You're going to try to retire a Cleveland Cavalier, so you might as well go back to what you had. Miami was a little, as he said, it was like him going to college for 4 years because, you go to college, the average is 4 years when you go. And he went to Miami for 4 years. That was his college experience, and now he's back in his hometown. He wants to go back to when he was with the Irish. I forgot, what was their name?
St. Vincent St. Mary's.
Yeah, St. Vincent St. Mary's. He was 23 there. He was 23 when he began with the Cavs. You might as well go back. I like the move.
Yeah, I'm fine with the move too. I mean, you're finishing off your return.
I don't know why it's a huge story, but
yeah,
at the same time.
Because it's the summertime and it's the NBA and there's nothing really going on besides baseball.
There's only
we'll get
CFL
to later.
going on.
Yes, there's only CFL going on. We got that later for Picks of the Week. All right, let's move on to the game. We're playing a little game called Take Your Pick. The way this works is I give Mike and I 2 options to choose from, and we take our pick. I mean, it's pretty simple, Mike. It's a good game.
There's no right or wrong answer.
We haven't. Yeah, exactly. We haven't
Except
played.
when I'm right.
We haven't played this game yet this year, so this will be the first time. Again, first things first, Mike. Your favorite sports broadcast? Are you going to go with ESPN or NBC? Now you got obviously a variety of sports that go on at these broadcasts, but go ahead and take your pick.
Jeez. I'm gonna stand still right now. Yeah. Check that new watch you got. I'm gonna have to go with ESPN.
This is a tough one. Okay.
I'm gonna have to go with ESPN because if we're gonna be talking about football, I like the Monday Night Football crew on ESPN. Okay, and I also like, because ESPN's prime time, I like it when the Wizards are on there or the Caps or whoever it may be. Even though NBC I believe is most of the hockey coverage, but when ESPN is obviously, Monday Night Football, Mike Tirico is really good. John Gruden's, he's a character. And just overall, I think their broadcasts on ESPN are a lot better, especially with college basketball and so on and so forth. But NBC is more the Olympics and some hockey and stuff like that, where they got Bob Costas and some other players on the field. But at the same time, I still think I'll go with ESPN because they have better graphics, better all around.
Don't forget with ESPN also you get like the Sunday Night Baseball, Monday Night Baseball, stuff like that, Wednesday night. They just pick a day of the week and they just call it, this is Tuesday Night Baseball. But for me, I'm actually going to go other way. I'm going to go with NBC just because I like you mentioned, the kind of the variety in the sports that we get with NBC. The hockey coverage isn't really there for ESPN. I don't think I've heard ESPN say the word hockey ever. It just doesn't happen.
Except on SportsCenter.
Except for on SportsCenter. It just doesn't happen. So you got the hockey coverage. The Olympic coverage is fantastic when that comes around for NBC. And then, like you said, there's just a variety. And they're stepping up in the game as far as introducing all these Premier League games and stuff like that for soccer. NBC's really been big on that. And then you have, obviously, with college basketball occasionally. So especially when it comes to March Madness time. So for me, I'm going to go with NBC+. You know how I don't like picking my team in the pick'em? I don't like picking ESPN. I'm not a big fan of ESPN. We'll get to that maybe on the radio on Sunday.
Oh, all right.
Let's move on. Point guard. Are you going to go with John Wall or Kyrie Irving?
I'm going with John Wall, the hometown John Wall, Washington Wizards, because of the sole fact that he's faster than Kyrie Irving. Now, Ben might, differ about this a little bit, and so might a lot of people at home, but John Wall is a little bit faster. He gets out on the break. He has better steal numbers, so it's a better defensive player. And you're also looking at the sole fact that he's led the Washington Wizards. Right now, the Cleveland Cavaliers aren't doing anything. Obviously, they have LeBron now, but when you're looking at it, it's just you can't really compare that when he led them, but at the same time, you saw his jump shot improve drastically. Kyrie Irving, he has a lot of big numbers, but I think because LeBron's there now, they might diminish a little bit. And just seeing that how Bradley Beal, once he got drafted, and the Nene was in there, Gortat, John Wall's numbers didn't go down tremendously like they should have because he's still a great player. I'm going to go with John Wall on this one because I think Kyrie Irving's numbers are going to go down substantially when LeBron starts playing.
If you would have asked me any other year but this year who to take my pick, I would say Kyrie Irving every time. But now I'm going to have to say John Wall, just in the fact that John Wall has, as you mentioned, improved drastically over the past couple seasons, especially watching him in the playoffs and the poise that he had. Obviously, the Wizards losing and they got out of the playoffs, but the poise that he had in that Chicago series, we know that John Wall is now the leader of this team. And honestly, his game has improved, like I said, drastically. Again, his jump shot's getting better. You already mentioned he's already got the speed and quickness of a point guard that you want. He's already got the ability to distribute the basketball that you want.
Good defensive ability.
He's got the good defense. Again, I would say Kyrie normally, just because I think Kyrie's a better shooter. But for me, I think the potential is still, John Wall's still going up and up. I mean, the ceiling for John Wall, I think, is higher than the ceiling for Kyrie Irving. Plus, he finally got that national attention in the playoffs. You finally had Charles Barkley talking about John Wall. You finally had these guys, Ernie Johnson, all these guys talking about John Wall, which we haven't had. I mean, Mike, being in the DC sports market, we don't have that national attention a lot of the time.
Never.
They're barely talking about the Nationals, and they're first place in the division. So, again, I'd take Wall on this one, too.
Hey, once Kyrie Irving gets a song made about him, then I might
There you go.
consider him.
And a little dance. I'm not going to do it. I was about to do it.
I
but
saw the
I'm not
motion
going
there
to. I'm not going to do that.
Oh, you got my hopes up.
Yeah, we put this show on YouTube. I can't have that living forever. Let's move on. Ballpark food. This is a fun one. Favorite food at the ballpark, Mike? Hot dog versus hamburger.
Are you asking me first?
Okay, I'll go first.
Yeah,
I'll
you
go
go
first.
first.
All right, for me,
Switch
I'm
it
going
up
to
a little
go
bit.
with the traditional hot dog. I think you go to a baseball game,
Jeez.
you get hot. Now, keep in mind, I've been getting chicken tenders the last like 4 games I've gone to. You pay like $30 for 3 chicken tenders
now, are
and
we
2
doing
fries.
an example for the Nats games? Are we saying like example?
I'm just saying in general. In general, for sports.
Well, it's all changed now.
Yeah, it is all changed. But for me, if I'm going between a hot dog and a hamburger, I'm going hot dog. You got it. You go to the ballpark, you get a hot dog, you get a nice cold drink, soda, nice cold soda, nice cold Diet Coke, and
Diet Coke.
and
Gross.
it's wonderful, Mike. That's baseball for you. You get to watch the Nats hopefully win. It's great.
I'm gonna go off the rail here. I'm a little crazy guy today. I feel pretty good. I'm gonna go with the classic nacho. Because lately, when I've been going to I like how you're thinking about it. You're thinking.
What about when it's hot? If it's hot, I don't want a hot nacho.
It's not hot. It's just.
Aren't nachos hot? You have the salsa and the cheese.
Okay,
Isn't it hot cheese?
All right, it's not like you get at a high school game where it's like 2 little like compartments. No, it's okay. I'm talking about Nats games here. Nats games has all the best food because let's be honest here. All the different sports now are having all these different types of. I mean, Ben's Chili Bowls out there. I mean, they're probably gonna
They're gonna have steak dinners.
They're gonna start having McDonald's and lobster and all this other stuff.
It's getting pretty wild.
Ballparks, but this nacho place, I totally forgot what it is because I just go there automatically.
Yeah. You just ask for nachos and they hand you hot nachos on a hot summer day. Mike, gotta go hot dogs.
Well, a hot dog's gonna be hot too.
Well, that's all right. It's okay.
But the nacho thing is like, I mean, it's
the
huge.
ketchup cools it down.
That thing is, I mean, it's literally like this.
It's like a tub of nachos. Yeah,
the dimension's not accurate, but it's kind of like this.
That's like 3 by 3.
No, it's a little
I have no
bigger,
idea.
a little bit bigger. It's like it's like 5 by 7.
All right, so it's a lot of nachos.
So it's a lot of nachos, and it's very good. It's right next to Boardwalk fries or Boardwalk pretzels or something like that.
So hot dog versus hamburger, you go nachos. That makes sense. We'll move on. Bigger knucklehead, Johnny Manziel or the Biebs. And Blake was telling me before the show that we are just mentioning a lot about Bieber lately, a lot about the Biebs. But I'll tell you, Blake, we are believers. We talk about Justin.
I am not.
But the only reason we're talking about it is because it has to do with sports, kind of. Because the Johnny Manziel connection, it's all degrees.
Thanks, Johnny.
So again, bigger knucklehead, Johnny Manziel versus the Biebs. I think you gotta go the Biebs. I mean, this guy's just crazy. The stuff he's done over the past 5 years, it's insane. He's driving 100 miles per hour for neighborhoods and stuff like that. He's doing that stuff. He's wearing the leather shorts, pants that we talk about every single week.
Pants,
he's starting his own styles that don't really work. For me, the Biebs, he's got to be the bigger knucklehead, Mike. He's just a kid. But that's not going to work much longer. I mean, you can't just keep saying he's just a kid, he's just a knucklehead. I mean, he's got to grow up at some point, especially if he wants to be treated like grown. Again, I'm speaking like a teacher right now. I've been working with kids all week, if you can't tell. So I'm going to go with the Biebs. Manziel, yeah, he's a little bit wild, but we'll see what happens once now he's in the pros. We'll see kind of if he cools down.
Yeah, the bromance is still continuing with Johnny Manziel and Justin Bieber. I mean, Justin Bieber, he's just overall looking at this whole entire thing and saying, hey, I want to get some more fame. Johnny Manziel is having all the fame right now, so I might as well go hang out with him with my
Manzeebs.
With my
Justin
Manzeebs.
We just coined that.
The leather pants.
Hashtag.
Hashtag.
I don't use Twitter, but hashtag.
Manzeebs. I mean, they're both.
It's a pick your poison type of category here.
I'll go with Bieber.
Okay, all right. Simple. Just the Biebs.
Well, you already convinced me, so it's okay.
All right, good. All right, last one. Who needs to go? Mr. Espinoza here or Ryan Zimmerman?
Ryan Zimmerman's at a hospital right now, so he couldn't make it to the desk. With that grade 3 strain. I mean, why do they keep saying grade 3 and all this stuff?
We're not doctors. I don't even want us to talk about it. We're gonna make fools of ourselves.
Medical school is out of my league.
Yeah.
Basically, I said both. I do not like either of these guys. Ryan Zimmerman can't throw it from second base or third. He still can't throw it from second base either, probably.
Can't throw from first base. He's right there.
Yeah, he can't even throw it to himself. Yeah. And then you have Danny Espinosa, who Ben said earlier in the show they didn't picture him with a bat because he can't swing the bat because he's not good. At least at bat. But he's a good fielder. But at the same time, I think both of them should go because, to be quite frank, I think they're both liabilities to the team, and I think we'd be a lot better without them.
Do you think when you're a kid and you're playing catch by yourself, you're in the backyard just throwing the ball up, do you think when Ryan Zimmerman played catch as a kid, he just never caught the ball? He just was throwing it all over the backyard?
No, you ever played wall ball before?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's that guy that throws it off the wall and everyone's like, okay.
And we have to go find a new ball because it's gone.
Running over the fence.
All right, so for me, I'm going to go with Danny Espinosa on this one, just in the fact that I just think this guy's time on this team has run out. He's never really, at times he was a contributor back a couple of seasons ago, but as soon as his bat really stopped working, we have no need for him. We can find a second baseman. It was a couple years ago. It was okay. It was was working out. When they made the playoffs, Danny Espinosa was part of that run.
Back in Pee Wee.
Yeah. But now that his bat isn't working, we can find a second baseman. I mean, second baseman's, we just picked up Asdrubal Cabrera. I mean,
we just
that's
got
a guy
rid of Zach Walters.
Exactly. So the Nationals can find someone to play second base. The more important thing is the bat. So for me, I'm going to go with Danny Espinosa because Zim, he's still the face of this franchise.
Oh,
no
no,
matter,
he's not.
he's still.
No, he's not.
I still think Ryan
Who
Zimmerman.
says that?
He's been here since the beginning. He's hit some big. I mean, you look through his highlight reel. He's gotten some huge hits for this team. He deserves the respect as a face of the franchise. He's a terrific team guy. When not Davey Williams anymore, Matt Williams, Davey Johnson, now Matt Williams tells Zimmerman to go play left field, to go play second base, to go play first base. Ryan Zimmerman goes, okay, yes, coach. I mean, he's a team guy.
That's his job.
Well, he's a team guy, and there's not a lot of guys. Do you think Bryce Harper, if the coach Williams asked him to go play a different position, Bryce Harper would be totally fine with it?
What kind of business?
I don't think so. If he told Harper to go play first base, I don't think Harper's doing it. Not at least without not speaking to the press, because he's Bryce Harper.
He played catcher when he was young.
I'm talking about first base. All I'm saying is Zimmerman still deserves that respect, at least in my eyes.
I want to see Harper play catcher.
Yeah, it'll be pretty good.
He used to catch, and I want to see.
He did. All right, picks of the week here, okay, Mike. We got to move on. All right, so the standings right now. Mike is 16-9. I actually went 5-0 last week. Pretty happy about that. 19-6. I made sure to circle it on the paper for Mike. So let's go picks of the week, Mike. First thing, Detroit at New York. Obviously, Nancy Blake here. They're pretty excited for this year. I know Nancy's definitely excited for this series with the Yankees and the Tigers. As you know, Mike, I pick against my team, so I'm going with the Yankees.
I'm going with Detroit because I know that David Price is going to start one of these games. So I think that if you have, say, Verlander, Scherzer, and maybe Price, right now you got to go with Detroit. I'm going with Detroit.
Next pick, I'm going to go. It's Baltimore at the Nats. Again, Washington, they're coming off this series against Miami. Obviously, they're playing Philly now this series this weekend, but they're coming off that tough Marlins series that really was depressing as a fan to watch because a lot of those games went, again, Nationals blowing a 6-0 lead, Nats losing late in the ballgame when it was 1-1 heading into the 8th. So for Washington, they're trying to get back on track. This is a fun one. The Battle of the Beltways are always fun. So I'm going to go with the Nationals here, actually. I'm going to pick a team I like. I'm going to go with Washington, especially playing at home.
I think when you add Cabrera at second base, it's going to kind of energize the team because they want to show him that they're a contender. And coming from Cleveland, they're kind of like a Billy Beane team where they don't have the best players in the world, but they still can compete. And now that he comes on a team where everyone is potentially an all-star, I think they're going to step up their game. And I think they're going to halt the O's because the O's right now are playing like a World Series champion right now because I tell you, it's going to be a great series. And I think I tweeted Grant Paulson the other day asking him if he thinks that Baltimore and the Nats are a possible World Series playoff game kind of thing, and he said that would be the most incredible thing he's ever seen, and it'd be great because that would be a whole entire igniter for a rivalry.
It would be something like back when New York had the Mets and the Yankees in the World Series years ago. That was a fun one. Moving on, Angels and Dodgers, the battle for Los Angeles here, Mike. I'm going to go with the Dodgers. I've been picking them consistently, and they've been winning consistently, so I'm going to go with that.
Working out for you. Yeah. They just actually won the series against the Braves, so on our radio show, I lost that pick. But I'm going with the Angels on this one just because I think that, it's kind of Dodger town, but I'm going to go with the Angels because I think the Angels have a little more firepower in their bats. And then the Dodgers, they're more of a pitching staff, and I think that, the Angels can try to, scout him a little bit better and try to get Kershaw maybe off his game for one game, but overall, I'm going to go with the Angels. And also, I got to catch up to Ben with all these picks, so I got to go different sometimes.
We got two fun ones left here. Obviously, if you watched last week, we introduced our first Canadian Football League pick. We got two more on the docket. It is fantastic.
Great football.
Again, Mike and I know a lot about this, so this is good. First
Our favorite team is the Tiger Cats.
The BC Lions, I believe that's British Columbia Lions. They're 2-3. They're going against the Calgary Stampeders, who are 4-0. And I got to go with my Stampeders, Mike. Again, they've been on a roll this year. Everything's working. The run game's working. The pass game's working. This linebacker trio that they have in Calgary is fantastic. So I'm going to go with the Stampeders at 4-0. The streak continues.
I'm going with the Lions again because I have to catch up in picks. But they're 2-3. But I think there's a lot of controversy in the CFL because the Calgary Stampeders have they're the guys that control the scoreboard, And some of the times that the Lions have played, they've changed the score to the point where now the Lions are down 60-7.
Right. You can't call it illegitimate league. I mean, it's a real league. They actually do have real football being played.
But,
okay.
I'm going to go with the Lions because I think they've been cheated out of the season.
Okay. You're going to go with the Lions. You'll see the Lions, if they can pull themselves to 500 here, to go 3-3. Last pick here. The Saskatchewan Roughriders, yeah, pretty sure I said that right.
I did.
Against the Ottawa Red Blacks. The Roughriders are 2-2 this season. The Red Blacks are 1-3. So both teams trying to get back on track, Mike. I'm going to go with the Red Blacks here in this one. Again, only one win so far this year. I think they turn it around, starting with the Roughriders.
I thought you told me you were going to pick the Roughriders.
Well, I changed my mind. Last thing, I remembered why that I picked the Red Blacks because, again, they just have so much talent this year.
Well, just for fun and just for kicks, I'm going to go with the Rough Riders. I believe that the Red Blacks are going to win this game, but like I said, got to catch up, and I really have no reason, because I had a big reason.
Because we don't know any of these things.
I had a big reason for the Red Blacks, but I mean, I don't even, what is a Red Black? I need to Wikipedia that.
Rough Rider probably has something to do with horses or something.
Yeah, the Stampeders,
another horse.
Horses.
Wow, a lot of horses
Lions,
in Canada. Lions,
a cat, tiger
okay.
cats, maybe
yeah.
cat.
Yeah.
Eskimos, maybe just Eskimos.
Eskimos. All right.
I'm gonna go with the Rough Riders.
Okay.
And that's what was that? 4 differences?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This should be an interesting week.
So I could basically be in first place after this week.
That would be interesting. I would be. We'll see if I can continue that. All right. Well, again,
you don't think so, obviously.
We'll see. Another terrific episode here of the First Pick, Mike, and let's go ahead and throw out all of our social media networks again, as we do at the top and the end of every show, just so you know how to reach us.
Go on Facebook.com/thefirstpick, SSSS as in Cerrone and as in Simpson. And also go on Twitter @Cerrone16 for me, @FirstPickBlog for Mr. Simpson. Again, if you guys want to comment and see if he wants to change that, because I think he should go to like the Simpson or something like that.
I can't do it something. That's like Manziel Bieber territory. I can't go the Biebs.
You are a believer.
Yeah, I am a believer though. That's true. All right, go ahead, continue.
Again, go on YouTube.com/Mike Cerrone or even /The First Pick Show. And then also, if you want to email us, firstpickblog@gmail.com and mcerrone830@gmail.com for any inquiries or any sponsorships you want to give us.
Again, for everyone here at HCTV, we appreciate you guys helping us out all summer long, as well as with a couple episodes left to go. This has been fantastic, and Mike, definitely, it's a great experience being able to be here on TV. We didn't think we could make it here at TV. We're radio guys, but we've been able to make the transition. So, again, to everybody, we appreciate you guys. Again, check us out on the radio, as we mentioned, on Sundays, 5 to 7 p.m., WGMUradio.com. We talk a lot about food, about water. We talk about a lot of some weird stuff. Yeah, bowling. We talk about a lot of weird stuff, so it's a lot of fun.
Not professional bowling, just how we bowl.
Yeah, about how terrible I am at bowling.
Whatever grinds our gears, everything.
It's some fun stuff. But again, for Mike Cerrone, I'm Ben Simpson. This has been episode 6 of The First Pick right here on HCTV.